Start the recording, switch screens. All right, so welcome back, guys. I believe this is our 34th or 35th session of Arcadia. Not, of course, counting our interludes of Klingon and Dominion games. Just a few quick announcements before we dive into things. First off, being that if you are not already aware, I have released a free mission compendium for Star Trek Adventures. You can grab it free on my Patreon, which I believe is linked below in both on Twitch and on YouTube. And of course, if you have trouble finding it, I believe it's also pinned to my Twitter. Second announcement I have is kind of a general announcement. I'm going to be running a Fire Emblem tabletop test, play test, this coming Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And pretty much going to use the results of that test to finalize the system I have in mind, and I'll update that also on my Patreon. What else have we got going on? Oh, yes. So this group will be possibly missing the 23rd, but we will be hopefully meeting the 30th. And the reason I say that is because I believe I already know that 3 people are going to be out on the 23rd, so we probably going to have to skip that week. Other than that, I think we're ready to start. And Klein, I believe you have the opening log.
I do. Anybody else have anything before I open with that?
It seems like the floor is yours.
Alrighty. Security Chief's log, stardate 51311.8. It's been several weeks since the Arcadia and her crew have left the Tovan system with one less crew member in Ensign Wilhelm Crothers after a conflict on the USS Hamilton turned lethal, with Ensign Los nearly losing his life and Crothers being kidnapped by the Dominion as collateral. As of now, we have been ordered by Starfleet Command to not attempt a rescue mission, mostly due to a lack of intel and the importance of the Arcadia to the border. I believe I speak for both Captain DeHaan and myself when I say this isn't an ideal situation, as we never want to leave a man behind. This conflict has left me with some emotional trauma, but I must remain stoic, as my role as Chief of Security aboard the ship is crucial. Currently, we're en route to the Cardassian Border, where the USS Thunderchild is currently on the wrong side of it, out of commission. With it are 2 Dominion attack craft in similar shape to the Thunderchild. We've been tasked with repairing it and getting our crew to safety before reinforcements show up. With someone like Ensign Hyde as our Chief of Engineering, I think the task will be easy enough, if we act quickly. While en route, I've decided to talk with our doctor, seeing if I can learn the ways of being a medical officer, and learn to save lives, rather than take them. Crothers, if you can somehow hear this, we will come for you, and we will bring you home.
Alrighty. So let's start off that first scene in sickbay. And you guys can go ahead and start as I deal with some tokens here. Yeah, Klein, you walk on into sickbay, and Bryn, you have just kicked Jensen out for the 6th time today.
I look extremely just disheveled and frustrated, but that's typical, I'm sure.
Dr. Bryn.
What is it, Lieutenant?
I was hoping that after what had happened, I've done some thinking and was wanting to ask if maybe you could teach me your trade, as it were.
Brent just gives you kind of a long, appraising stare for a moment. And what's led you to come to this conclusion?
Well, after my inability to help Los with some of his injuries immediately after our fight aboard the Hamilton, and looking back to some of my minors in Starfleet Academy, one of them was in the medical field for a short time, and I figured now would be the time to try and improve them.
Well, Lieutenant, I mean, we're always readily willing to have more helping hands around here in sickbay, of course, but I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm a bit hesitant. I just want to know that this is something that you're just not doing to just get over some sort of emotional trauma. that this is something that you really want to do.
And he kind of sits there and thinks it over for a bit in his head, and it's just like, this is something I want. It's something that will help, but it's not the core reason I want to. If that makes any sense, Doctor.
Sure. I mean, be willing to teach you when I have any sort of opportunity, which sure would be tomorrow, I suppose, unless some galactic event happens.
I could always come back in and help whenever your favorite patient, and you can hear the air quotes around that, comes in.
And right on cue, Jensen literally beams into sickbay and says, Doctor,
wait,
I'm bleeding from an artery. You must save me. And you look.
Is he bleeding from an artery?
Well, you look to see that he's got a cut on his leg, on his inner thigh, and it's missed the femoral artery, so he's not in danger of dying. There's still a lot of blood.
Right.
Jensen, you just left. What could you have possibly done to injure yourself in the 1.63 minutes it's been since you walked out of here?
Well, there was an EPS conduit, and then he turns like pure white and just faints on the spot.
Something tells me the Starfleet is not the optimal job for this guy. Well, Klein, it looks like you're going to be on the clock a lot sooner than I expected.
Of course.
All right, let's get this done and get him the hell out of my sickbay.
Of course.
All right. So, treating him is a fairly simple process. First thing you need to do is simple reason and medicine. And we'll say for the sake of purposes, well, you know what I'm trying to say. Klein, you're going to take the lead, and Bryn, you may assist whenever you feel is necessary.
Okay.
So, Klein, I would imagine Bryn just sort of hands you a medical tricorder, and you start scanning away.
Yep. Let's see. I don't have a focus for this, so...
All right, hey, that banks you momentum. And yeah, as I said, good news is Jensen pretty much just nicked the side of his, or the inner part of his thigh somehow, but it's not anywhere near lethal or really even life-threatening. If anything, you could just run a dermal regenerator over it, and he'll be fine.
Doctor, it seems like if we just get a dermal regenerator working on his leg, he'll be fine, as dramatic as he was acting.
Well, that's pretty typical for this guy. I mean, I'll leave it up to your discretion, but if you want to give him some sort of time-release sedative as well, that's fine with me.
Okay.
I'm kidding, of course. Please don't do that.
Okay.
And you see that your nurse is like halfway reaching out to offer a hypospray, and he very furtively pulls it back and goes back to what he was doing.
Some people just don't get Tellarite humor, apparently.
I'll get used to it with time, and then I'll set to working on his leg there with the dermal regenerator.
All right. Just again, because it gets you momentum, if you could roll me a control medicine, difficulty 0. So, free momentum.
Alrighty. Control medicine.
All right, you get another momentum. And yeah, sure enough, it's really not that bad of a wound. You just kind of run the dermal regenerator over it a few times, and it's good as new.
I have a feeling that Ensign Whiskers isn't going to probably be too happy with somebody using irresponsible use of the transporters as well.
Yeah, but hopefully he'll learn in time. Hopefully.
Wow. Something tells me that a nice quiet star base at the edge of the Alpha Quadrant might be good for this kid.
You might be right.
Well, you seem to be doing okay so far, Klein. I'm assuming that you're training and finding whatever it is. I don't even know what it is you do. Just, you're doing fine.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
sort of grumble and go back into my office. Kind of just keep a subtle eye on you as you're doing your thing.
Sure.
All right. So the next person to walk into sickbay a couple minutes later is actually Chief Hylong. And you see that she is not really worse for the wear. She just kind of comes in and says, Klein, didn't expect to see you here. Is the doctor in?
Yes, he is. And I just kind of give a nod towards his office.
Oh. Are you helping out or something?
Yes, I am. I decided to try and take up something a little bit different.
Well, I pretty much came in for a rotator cuff injury, if you think you can handle that.
And I'll just kind of like give a quick glance to Dr. Britt and see how he reacts to that, because I'm sure he can hear that.
That's kind of do a dismissive wave with the back of my hand as I pretend that I'm doing other things, but still kind of keeping a subtle eye on things.
Okay.
All right. So Hylong just kind of moves over to this bed.
Yep.
And yeah, this time, going to be another Reason Medicine, difficulty 1. Pretty easy.
All right. Let's see here.
All right, so either you're just not seeing it, or it could be that you're not familiar with Serrato Draco physiology. Probably a little column A, little column B.
Right. I believe our doctor might be a little bit more suited to this. I'm not quite familiar with Serrato Draco anatomy, but it could just be because I haven't practiced some of my medical skills in a while. Dr. Bryn, would you mind looking at Chief Hylong?
No problem, Lieutenant. I'll take over here. This physiology is unique and not very common, so I'm not surprised. But yeah. So do I make an assistance roll, or do I make the entire roll?
You would make the entire roll at this point. And it would still be a Reason Medicine difficulty 1.
I know I have that xenobiology focus, and I don't want to keep trying to find reasons to use that, and I don't know if that would apply here.
I'll let it happen since Serrato Draco are my homebrew race, and we only have so many of them.
Okay.
So yeah, that's 2 momentum. And sure enough, Bryn, you know enough about Serrato Draco to find the problem. As she came in and told you, she has a rotator cuff injury. It's going to take a little bit of regeneration and some light painkillers, but on that, she should be fine.
Okay. I'll kind of show Lieutenant Klein in a very grumbling way exactly what it is that I found and how I can.
You guys can keep going, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, so I'll just sort of grumble, seemingly begrudgingly show you, how I came to the outcome on the scans that I did and what kind of what I would do to treat this injury and explain as I'm going along. Pretty much everything that Bryn does, he always complains about everything, and if he doesn't have something to complain about, he's going to create things to complain about. So he seems like if you know him well enough, he seems like he's grumpy about the fact that he's having to teach you, but he actually kind of enjoys being able to explain medical stuff to somebody.
I see. Well, with disinformation, since you did a little bit better, would you want to work on that? Would you like me to, so you can go back to some of your other work?
I mean, I'm assuming that the chief doesn't feel like being in a medical experiment right now, Lieutenant. I'll go ahead and deal with her. Just keep an eye on Jensen. I left some data pads for you to peruse on my desk, to try to get you going as fast as we can.
Alrighty. In that case, I'll walk over to our doctor's office and start perusing some of the data pads that he left there for me.
Alrighty.
There's just kind of stuff on general diagnosis and some things on a little bit on xenobiology as well.
Right. Okay.
Alright. So while all that's going on, Crowley and Tahan, what are you guys up to?
Oh, it's my shift off. I'm in the Arboretum taking care of those flowers Andromeda had planted.
Okay, noted. What about you, Tahan?
I don't have anything for Tahan, but I think I have a scene for Los, possibly.
Sure, where do you want it to happen?
He's just gonna ask the computer, where is Lieutenant Klein?
Lieutenant Klein is in sickbay.
Oh. He's gonna head over to sickbay thinking Lieutenant Klein is hurt.
All right. Well, you walk inside and you see Bryn trying not to strangle Jensen out of pure reflex, and you see Klein going over some data pads.
I'll step over into the office. Lieutenant, do you have a minute?
Of course. Something the matter.
I don't know. I'll step in and wait for the door to close.
Okay.
Obviously, I owe you a lot right now. And I think you know that. That I'm thankful, obviously. But no one's talked to me since the mission. I feel like I should be getting drilled every day. Why aren't I in trouble?
Probably because I was the one who made the decision to go up there, Los. I think Commander Crowley drilled me enough for the both of us. It was my job as chief of security to make sure everyone was safe and in damn it, Crowley. It's my job as chief of security to make sure everyone here on this ship is safe, and obviously as it happens aboard the Hamilton, I didn't do that in that regard.
Lieutenant, you did so much right. If you need anyone to back you up, I'm here for you. You saved my life. You may not have been there for others, but you couldn't have been, even if you did everything right.
I guess that's true. Thank you. And you can tell he looks like he doesn't want to talk about it, but he's doing it anyway because you were there.
Do you feel just antsy right now? I want to be doing something. I don't like having this time on my hands.
Oh, I'm trying to do something here with having Dr. Bryn teach me a bit of his ways, because I feel like it calls me back to my Starfleet days, but is there anything else here on this ship that you were good at, or something you might have learned in the academy?
To be honest, I learned most of this before I joined Starfleet. You know how it was like. You've heard stories about Bajor, the occupation.
Yes.
There's only one thing I know, and that you never leave someone behind. And I'll be damned if...
that. Oh, sorry.
No, you already knew what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I'd like to do the same thing too, Los, but with commands from Starfleet, we can't really do much about it.
Sometimes I wish I weren't in Starfleet, just because I don't have the patience for it all the time.
Well,
we go.
from there's Crowley. I believe you've done a fine job as a security officer on board this ship, but you've... out of character, how long has Los been serving in Starfleet? Because he's still an ensign, so it would have been since the Arcadia was commissioned, I was assuming. So, like, would the Arcadia be his first ship?
Yeah,
Okay.
He's gotten the ensign Kim treatment, ensign for 5 years or whatever.
Right. Okay. Huh. I'm not much of a counselor, but I'm sure if Counselor Nalan were here, he would be much better for these kinds of questions than I am.
No, you're not a counselor, but it's more like a support group, right? We were there together,
Yeah.
and I've been where you are right now. After he was older than me, but my nephew, we lost him in the occupation, and after that, I tried learning medicine too. Just enough. I get it.
And trust me, if the opportunity arises that we can somehow go and rescue Ensign Crothers, I'm sure that you and I will be among the first to volunteer for it.
There's a bit of a smile on Los's face. We damned better be. All right. Well,
I'm
on
sorry,
duty too.
but did my office suddenly turn into a conference room when I had my back turned? Los, are you suffering from some sort of injury that I'm not particularly seeing right now?
You know that now that you mention it, Doctor, it does smell awful in here. I'd better leave.
I have no idea what you mean.
Oh, I'm sure you don't.
Well, after that shade has been thrown, let's cut to the
To be clear, Los is trying to interact with Bryn on a wavelength he appreciates.
Yep.
Whether or not he's succeeding is another story.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That's what matters.
I gotcha.
All right, actually, let's cut to let's do the bridge. Obviously, this will be probably a few hours later, so that those who are on the bridge are actually present. You're still a little bit of ways away out from the Thunderchild, but it is at this point that you are getting within hailing range of them.
I'm in the wrong chair. Good.
I don't think I remember the Thunderchild from the log. I may have cut out. What's happening?
You are currently en route to rescue the Thunderchild from the wrong side of the Cardassian border. It is a Defiant-class vessel that took on 2 attack craft on its own. Supposedly knocked both attack craft out, but in the process was almost turned into a derelict.
Begin scanning for enemy vessels.
Sure. And Bryn, if you want to take over rolling for Hailong, Hailong is going to be rolling a reason science, and then if someone could get the Arcadia's sensor science, and this will be at a difficulty of 2.
Let's see. I'll roll for the Arcadia and said sensor science.
Correct?
All right. Oh wait, this ship always has a focus. Whoops.
Does
roll the 9.
Hailong
Ah,
does
okay.
Hailong have a focus?
Hailong does have a focus, yes. Alright, well, the 2's all you need. And yeah, Hailong, you're not detecting any incoming Dominion ships, but you are indeed able to confirm that there are 2 damaged, if not actual hulks, of 2 attack craft nearby the Thunderchild.
All right, I guess she'll relay that information back to the captain and the commander.
All right.
All right. And did you say we were within communication range or getting close?
You are now within communication range, but you'll still be about 30 minutes out before you're actually on scene.
Okay. Long. Please send a hail to the Thunderchild.
On it, sir. And after a moment, you do get a reply. And on the view screen, you see a rather distressed-looking human woman. She bears the insignia rank of commander. And you see that behind her on the bridge, on the view screen, it's looking pretty bad. There's beams that have fallen and crushed several stations. There are sparking conduits behind her, and the commander herself appears to have been injured in some way. She has some form of burning across the right side of her face, but it's nothing super serious. And as all this comes to pass, she says, "This is Commander Foster with the Thunderchild. Are you our rescue?"
Yes, this is Captain Tahan of the Arcadia. We are en route now. Do I know if the Thunderchild is commanded by this particular individual?
You would know that there is a captain involved, yes, but you may not know their name.
Okay. Commander Foster will be there soon. What assistance do you need most immediately? We'll begin preparing those teams now.
Well, to tell the truth, we need a whole lot of everything. I can brief you on site once you're here, but the short of it is we took a hard hit to our engineering section, and we've lost over half the crew either to injury or to death. And Captain Walton was among them. I'm the acting individual at the moment.
Acknowledged. We'll start with medical and security, and then bring in engineering teams soon after.
Understood. And thank you for coming out this way. We were worried that it was going to be a Dominion that found us first.
Not if we have anything to say about it, Commander.
Understood. Thunderchild out. The view screen goes back to the soaring stars.
Lieutenant Klein,
Yes.
assemble a small security detail to accompany our medical teams, and then I'll begin preparing the engineering. I'll head down to engineering and prepare that team.
Of course, Captain.
All right. So, obviously, Hyde's a shoo-in for this, but since she's not here quite yet, we'll just move on without her. So, I may not have communicated that entirely in a good fashion, but basically, any help that you can provide, whether you're medical, security, engineering, hell, even if you're a con officer, they will take whatever help you can get. So, as I put you on this screen so you can kind of see what's going on, I did want to ask who would be going over in terms of characters and supporting characters.
Right. Let's see here.
And I would say if your main character is not going, you definitely want to take a supporting character you're comfortable with.
I assume Los is going with the security team.
All right, got Los.
I'm sure Bryn is going.
Okay, got Bryn.
Klein would be going.
Okay.
Before we depart, and after the captain gives his orders, I'm going to give a couple of orders to send to launch a couple of Class 6 relay communication probes and have them in a farthest range possible so that if they pick up anything, they can relay back. Give us a pre-warning system.
All right, Sin will certainly do that, sir.
And as for what I'm going to be bringing, Captain's not going?
Say again?
Captain's not going?
No, the captain is taking Los.
And Captain, have I been ordered to stay aboard the ship?
You have not. You will go along and coordinate the relief effort.
I'll take Crowley.
Alrighty. So, time passes after all of your teams have gotten together, and you kind of arrive on scene, and sure enough, the Thunderchild is sort of listing in space. You're reading minimal power coming from it, and nearby you're seeing the hulked wreckage of 2 attack craft that took quite a beating. But you are now within transporter range.
Captain, I'd advise we get some scavengers out there on those 2 attack crafts. Salvage what they can, computer cores, information.
Agreed, but that's not a priority just yet. Before we lower shield, aim phasers to the 2 attack crafts.
All right. So either Klein or Sin does that and reports that they are ready.
Okay. As soon as the teams are ready, lower shields and begin transport. I assume the Thunderchild has no shields anymore?
No, it has barely life support at this point.
Okay.
So, you guys beam on over to the Thunderchild, and I'll adjust the screen in a moment. Alright, so, the 4 of you, plus your teams, materialize on a very cramped transporter pad. Probably split up, now that I think about it. Probably used all the transporter pads that the Defiant class has. But the 4 of you arrive as a single group, and waiting for you is the same Commander Foster that some of you saw on the view screen. And she seems shorter in person, but she looks at you all, sees Commander Crowley, and goes up to him first and says, you must be the first officer of the Arcadia. I am Commander Foster.
Nice to meet you. I'm Commander Crowley. This is Lieutenant Klein, General Los, and our friendly, lovable, cuddly Dr. Bryn. He'll see to all your wounded.
And she kind of looks at Bryn and says, a Tellarite doctor? Hell, you might as well just throw mud at us and hope it heals. And she gives a wink.
A human first officer? How typical.
Well, you know, somebody had to do the dirty work since the Tellarites didn't want it. Sorry, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Perhaps we should walk and talk.
I like this commander. I kind of turned to Crowley. I like this commander.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what you have to say. We're staffed with a ship.
Well, that's what I want to walk and talk about. And she begins leading you down towards where the engineering teams are being coordinated from. And she says, it's a pretty simple story, sir. The Thunderchild was doing a routine patrol of the border when 2 Jem'Hadar attack craft came literally out of nowhere. There was no warning on sensors until they were right on top of us. And luckily, our tactical officer at the time was able to raise shields and just in time as the attack craft opened fire. But unfortunately, by the time we rendered our opponents out of the fight, they managed to get a lucky shot through our shields and blow out engineering. We've restored life support in engineering, but as I believe I said, out of our original complement of 50, we're dealing with over 30 either KIA or injured. And most of the engineering team is incapacitated. That leaves 20 of us, give or take, to keep things running and more or less run a skeleton crew.
Alright, let's... Cordon off the areas of the ship that don't need to be repaired right away. Let's look at getting engineering restored and life support maintained.
Very good, sir. And sure enough, after a few moments, you guys will arrive in main engineering. And you can see that as you come inside, that the back wall over here, this wall here, is that pinging?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Let me try a different tool because it's not. Well, I'll say the rightmost wall there for those of you on stream. That entire section is exposed to space, and you can see through it. And obviously, it has to go through several corridors and bulkheads to get there, but it goes all the way out into space. There are emergency force fields in place, and they flicker, but otherwise hold. And Commander Foster says, well, as you can see, there's the hit. We were just lucky it didn't hit the warp core.
And
Tough little
as she says
ship.
that, I'm going to take a look at the warp core. Is it damaged in any way, or is it fine?
You would be able to tell just looking at it that it is currently offline. But if you want to know more than that, you're either going to have to ask some questions of the people who are in engineering, or you're going to have to roll me a task.
Let's go ahead and roll a task. What will the task be?
I would say this would be a reason in engineering at difficulty
Okay.
1.
Okay.
While he's doing that, Bren's going to ask where the wounded are and if there's any medical personnel on board the ship.
Commander Foster says, of course, Doctor. There actually is a triage station quite nearby here. I'll lead you there immediately. And
That will do.
We'll say for
One
sake of argument,
success.
Bryn, you're off screen with Commander
Yep.
Foster at this point. But yeah, Klein, with your single success, which is all you need, you would be able to, run a diagnostic with your tricorder, look at a few screens, and you would know that the warp core is offline for safety reasons mostly.
Okay.
The safety things that keep it in check, keeping the antimatter matter reaction stable, keeping containment, things of that nature. They are going to be needing some form of repair or at least oversight before the core can come back online.
Right. Okay.
And I would say you would also know that while the power reserves across the ship are low, that life support is in no danger of falling as long as no further holes are blown in the hull.
Okay. Gotcha.
But to
Good enough.
sort of make things a little bit more difficult for you all, you see that there are little teams of personnel that are trying their best to do repair efforts, but it's rather clear that no one is taking charge here. They're just sort of working piecemeal and almost ad hoc at random.
Okay.
Commander Klein,
Yes.
as of the force fields, are any of them in danger of collapsing on us? I don't need an emergency decompression happening.
Right. Would I have picked that up in my scan of the warp core, or would I need to do another task for that?
I would say that someone actually will overhear you, and it's an ensign that comes up to you, and he's a standard human male, fresh out of the academy, kind of has typical crew cut that you would expect. And he says, sorry to butt in, sir, but I would like to report that the force fields are on a separate system, and we've managed to buy us about 2 hours before they will probably flicker offline.
Well, I
Very
guess
good.
we could start repairs on those systems. As our commander said, we wouldn't want a decompression while anyone's in here.
Right. And let me put you guys momentarily back on this so you can see what you're working with here. The very first things that you need to worry about are warp core safety system repair and actual repair of the warp core itself. And
Okay.
then, once you've accomplished those things, someone needs to work on the computers, someone needs to go and patch the holes in the hull,
Alrighty.
and then the general ship systems need to be handled as well.
Okay.
Uh,
I'd say the two... Because how many engineering personnel are we working with here aboard the Thunderchild?
Actual engineering personnel, maybe 1 or 2. The rest are either tactical or some form of, I hesitate to use the word scientist, but they're blue uniform.
Right. On this point, I'm actually going to tap my communicator. Lieutenant Klein to... Wait, how many do we bring with us? Before I do
How
that?
many did you want to bring?
After... that's a good question. After seeing all of this... just about anything we can spare. Not saying we need to bring the entire engineering crew of our ship over here, but
Right.
quite a few.
Okay. Well, let me ask
Collie's
this. What supporting characters might be coming into play?
Let me look at the supporting characters real quick.
I was going to ask for whatever wave of engineers come in to bring in power generators, tie into the shielding system. Give us more than 2 hours.
Alrighty.
Let's say we definitely probably want Chief Alon with us.
Okay. Oh man, he's
He's tiny.
Let me look here.
I'm going to toss in my vote for this guy.
Would
Alright, yeah, Senior Chief Donick.
And then if Tivna's wanting to come over, I think we could use her too.
Yeah, if you want Tivna to come on over and work her magic, she's more than willing. Alrighty. So, with everybody beaming over, I do have to ask who's going where. And we'll put your tokens nearby which extended task you guys are working on.
Klein would actually take the lead on working on the warp core safety systems.
Okay.
Let's see. With Alon, looking at him really quick.
Yeah, let's Bryn, why don't you Jaeger Alon? That way you're doing something that isn't medical. Not that I have medical stuff for you, but I want to keep you engaged.
What's Alon's kind of specialty?
Alon's specialty is warp field dynamics, computers, and quantum mechanics. So computers would be a good fit.
Yeah.
Then I think we could probably use Tivna in the general ship systems.
Okay.
So Los was gonna volunteer for that because he has a focus in transporters and replicators. I don't know if those are systems that are down.
Yeah, they're among the things that are down.
Yeah, and that's maybe one of the easier tasks that he.
Right.
Unless he can go look for people in missing sections of the ship.
You could certainly do that instead.
In that case, yeah, let's put Los into looking for missing people.
Okay.
If you don't mind. And then we'll put
Or would going outside in an EV suit for the exterior hull plating would that be a con check?
Yeah, there would be definitely some form of con tasks involved. So if you want to maybe put Los on that.
Me and Los.
Or if Crowley wants to, that works too.
I've got a 3 in con.
My sheet's closed for some reason. There we go.
Oh yeah, how about me? Yeah, me and Crowley can do hull plating, and then Tivna on general ship.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Alrighty. So, just so that we're all on the same page, as you can see, I have the difficulty, the magnitude, and the work track listed out. And all of them are going to be pretty straightforward. What I need to tell you up front, where is it in my notes? Hold on one second. All right, so every single time you guys attempt a roll, that roll is going to represent about 30 minutes worth of work. Now, as a reminder, you can spend 1 momentum to make that be 15 minutes. And as you can probably gather, time is a factor here. So we're going to start with Klein. And Klein, if you could roll me either a control or a daring plus engineering. And let's see. Well, let me say this. There's 2 ways you can go about this.
Okay.
You can either do the work yourself, or you can take sort of a supervisory role and order around both crew from the Arcadia and those that are surviving on the Thunderchild. If you do the latter in a supervisory role, you're going to be doing presence plus engineering roles or presence plus commands.
I'll just take the lead because my presence is a whopping 7. So
okay. All right. Well, as I said, control or daring plus engineering. The difficulty is 2.
Let's see. I'm going to now. If we spend the momentum to cut the time in half, is that before we roll, or how would that work? Or does
I
it
believe
matter?
you can spend it at any time.
Okay. In that case, let's see. Control engineering. Warp cores is a focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
Very nice. So yeah, now you're going to roll me 6 challenge die, please.
All right. So, see, that actually, I believe, is the work track. Because I have in the nick of time, which gives me vicious 1.
If you spend a momentum, it will be enough to complete the work track and give you the 2 breakthroughs you need.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alrighty. So, question: would you still want to spend a momentum to make that 15 minutes?
I think we'll probably need that momentum more in terms of repairing the exterior hull plating.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say no.
All right. So,
Just in
Klein,
case.
you and your team get to work for 30 minutes, and after the 30 minutes is done, you are pretty damn confident that the safety systems are now intact and operational. So we go to our new supporting character that Crowley's running. And Crowley, if you could tell us just a little bit about your new supporting character before we actually have you start doing rolls.
When Donnock shows up, he actually has to crouch really low to get in to through the doors. He is a big Serta Draco. He's old too. So he's got that stocky old Batman look to him where he's just a square with horns. But he has a big smile on his face when he comes on in. He's looking around at everything. And I'd say that anyone who's seen him on the Arcadia, you typically find him as the acting quartermaster. He's been going after the position, but he hasn't been given full clearance for it yet. He's on a trial basis because of mild and minor explosions that have occurred in the armory.
Alrighty. So, you are given the green light to begin repair on the warp core. So, again, there's 2 ways you can go about it. You can do the work yourself, or you can delegate and supervise.
I'll do it myself.
Alrighty. Control or daring plus engineering, please. Difficulty 1. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Daring engineering. And matter antimatter systems apply?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, 1's all you need. So go ahead and roll me 6 challenge die, please. Alright, that is enough for a breakthrough. So that is going to mean that the magnitude's going to go down to 1. You do 6 work. Alright, so for your 30 minutes, you're double checking and triple checking that the shot that got all the way into engineering did not have any adverse effects on the core, but you're not quite sure or confident enough to start actually turning the warp core on.
I like to imagine that he's actually doing the old person thing of just single finger typing everything.
Probably the same thing. All right, so now we're going to go to Chief Alon. So, Alon, I offer you same sort of thing as you start to work on the computer core. As you look at the computer interface, what little of it is available at the moment, you're able to tell that the computer was mostly shut down as a security precaution by the acting security chief, whose name, unfortunately, I do not have, but they were killed in the attack.
Okay, so okay. I'm sure that he would probably do the work himself.
Okay. So for you, it's going to be either a daring plus science or a daring plus security. Or actually, you know what? A daring engineering would work too.
All right, so it's going to be daring, then I guess he will lead because his presence is higher than his daring.
Okay.
Or should I not? Or is that too metagaming for you?
No, that's perfectly fine. You know, it's safe to say that the characters know their own limits.
Okay. So it'd be presence plus...
presence plus either command or presence plus engineering. And I would say that success on this does let you do work on the track, but the sort of caveat to you delegating and supervising is that if you fail, the complication range of the work increases by 1 for every time you fail.
Okay.
And it is a difficulty 3, so you might want to spend some momentum.
Yeah, I'm going to spend some momentum on this roll to get a 3rd dice. And I'm assuming focus and computers is applicable here.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oof.
Ooh. Tell you what, does Alon have a value yet?
No values.
Well, this is him being introduced into the session. You can certainly give him a value, which then you can turn around and spend determination on.
Yeah, what would be a decent value?
Perfection is logical.
Sure, let's go with that.
Alrighty. So yeah, just add that to a sheet, and then you are able to re-roll as many die as you wish.
All right. So I'll just do 2d20 here, I guess.
Ooh.
Jeez.
So
Oh God.
we'll say that, Alon, you obviously are doing your best to provide insight and, kind of get people working on their specialty, but either the computer took more damage than was initially expected, or the encryption protocol that was enacted is probably out of your depth for the moment. It's baffling you how encrypted the computer is, and it's just not going good for you. So that means any further repair tasks on that is going to be at a increased complication range,
He just raises the one eyebrow.
as Vulcans do. All right. And then we cut to Commander Crowley and Los. So the first bit of this task, before you can even start rolling on the work track, is I need you both to roll me a control and a con to represent how well you're able to get out into space in a safe and controlled manner.
What's the difficulty?
Oh, sorry. Difficulty 2.
Would athletics help at all?
I would say it would, yeah. All right. Well, there's a momentum for Crowley.
Could I spend one? No. Yeah, I'd like to spend one momentum here, I
All
think,
right,
to
go
get a
ahead.
third.
Ooh, I do see red. All right, so the complication is going to be that in order to get the materials you need out there, it's going to take you an additional 30 minutes.
I had a
Oh, go
I
ahead.
had a suggestion for the complication.
If it's a good one, we can certainly replace the one I just came up with.
Los recently had a near-death experience wearing an EV suit.
Mm-hmm.
He might be having some undue stress.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll give you the option then. You can either say that it takes an extra 30 minutes, so that your total time is going to be an hour, all said and done, or Los, you're going to have a complication range of 17 to 20 until you're back inside somewhere.
Take the complication range.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you do.
All right. Well,
For the story.
Oh no, I love it.
so Los hyperventilating aside, you do start to repair the major holes in the hull. And if one of you could take the lead on this, it will be a control and engineering.
I assume the assist is the same.
Yep.
Okay.
Engineering of 1, but a control of 11.
I should probably lead then.
Yep.
All right. I don't believe I have a focus here, unless I'm repairing the starboard tactical systems.
Not quite.
All right, that's fair.
Nice callback.
Yeah. What's the difficulty? Oh, it's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's spend, I think, one more momentum for 3 dice on me.
Okay.
Alright. And I want to do the advisor on him because I'm telling him to take the
Okay.
lead.
So I believe that actually changes yours to a presence engineering. Not that he needs it.
Yeah, and that would let me reroll 1, but I don't think I'm gonna need. I don't think I will elect to.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I want to use composure for him. Like I'm like telling him like, breathe deeply, steady your hands. You know, Right, can I use that as a focus?
Yeah, you certainly can. All right, so that is a
Hey.
grand total of 3 momentum for you, I believe. And yeah, Los, if you could roll me 5 challenge die for your work track. All right, so you do 5 work, which does a breakthrough. Which
I would
means
probably spend a
difficulties-
momentum to cut the time in half, maybe. Because he said we had, 2 hours until those force fields flickered out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So I'm going to add a little stopwatch here to represent that you guys took that time. Alrighty. So, and then finally, we come to Tivna before we get to Bryn and dealing with the wounded. So Tivna, whichever one of you would want to roll for her, she's going to be doing an insight in engineering, and it's a difficulty 1.
Well, Klein's going next. Maybe Bryn, you want to roll?
Because I did so stellar for Alon.
Yeah, redemption.
Redemption.
Exactly.
Let me get the character sheet up.
We just don't want to see red because it could mean we're dead. This is a redemption round.
Would any of her focuses apply here? Just to ask.
I believe some would. The
Probably
general
power
ship
systems.
yeah, the systems are just. I didn't want to spend like 8 different extended tasks on like sensors and the nav array and.
Right.
So, wait, am I rolling or you got it?
You can do it. We'll give you a shot at redemption here. Hopefully.
Okay. What am I rolling again?
Insight and engineering.
Okay. You said there was a focus.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's all you need. So go ahead and roll me 7 challenge die.
Oh,
Whoa!
Is that a
Out of the
success?
70.
let me redo that. I'm sorry.
Wow. Tivna does good work.
Oh.
Let me
They
see.
couldn't-
1, 2. Yeah, so unfortunately, even if I took the first 7 from that 70, it would only be 3. But you could spend a momentum to reroll those 5 zeros.
Yeah, let's do that if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah.
Done.
Hey, that's 6, and that's all you need to achieve the amount of breakthroughs you are required to have. So, yeah, Tivna, everything seems to be checking out. Once power is fed to it, everything should be running smoothly. I mean, obviously, you still have debris in the hallways, and there's still some blown-out conduits, but the basic systems, like sensors and the navigational array and the deflector, all that should work just fine. And then we're going to cut to Bryn. So Bryn, Commander Foster shows you to the makeshift sort of triage area, and you just see burn victims and people with broken limbs, and there's also a little cordoned off section that is sort of, I don't want to say covered in bodies, but the bodies that are there are draped over with sheets.
Okay. I think first thought. Well, how many people do I have helping me, or is there anyone?
You maybe have 1 or 2 assistants because most everybody is working on getting the Thunderchild back up and running.
Okay, I'm going to start prioritizing injuries. Start dealing with the injuries that are the worst or most life-threatening to start off with.
Okay. If you could roll me a reason and medicine or even an insight in medicine at a difficulty of 2.
I have emergency medicine as a focus. Would that apply
yeah,
here?
that would definitely apply.
Alright.
Nice.
Hey.
So yeah, you get 2 momentum from that, and yeah, I would say, Bryn, you are well equipped. You had the foresight to bring along extra equipment to handle these sorts of injuries, and I would say it maybe takes you about 30 minutes to triage the most needy patients. At this point, everyone is out of the woods. But as you sort of do the finishing touches on somebody, we'll say an ensign, the person you're treating says, Doc, have you checked on the captain yet?
Where is the captain?
He points over to one of the bodies in the makeshift morgue, and he says, I don't really want to know how he died, but I would like to know if it was peaceful.
And you said everyone's been pretty much taken care of at this point, as far as the injured?
I would say that they're treated to the point where you're comfortable letting them, kind of linger on their own, but you definitely wouldn't, like, put them on repair work.
Right. All right, well, I have them rest. I mean, I'm going to ask, who was, you said it was some ensign that...
Yeah, it was just some ensign, some nameless ensign. But I can give him a name if you want him to have a name.
No, that's okay.
Ensign Henson.
Sure, Ensign Henson.
Oh, God. Is there some sort of mystery as to how he died?
And we'll say Henson, for sake of argument, is wearing blue. And he says, yeah, when he first came in and he was brought in, I noticed that he had some markings on him that would indicate that he died from blows to the head, but his official cause of death before I myself was injured was an EPS conduit exploding on him. So I don't know. I just think there's more to this.
Thank you, Ensign. That'll be all. Just rest here for a little bit. I don't want you to see you doing any work for the time being.
If you think that's best, Doctor.
And I'm going to go try to do a quick, just kind of scan and autopsy, see if I can figure out the cause of death.
Sure. Give me a reason medicine, difficulty 3.
I'm going to spend 1 momentum on this to get a 3rd die, if that's okay.
Sure.
I don't think I have an applicable focus. Xenobiology, virology, emergency medicine, philosophy, toxicology, trauma surgery.
No, that's going to help, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Hey, but you don't even need it. So that actually gets you that momentum right back. And yeah, Bryn, the ensign was onto something. Like, say a first-year medical student would look at the burn marks and charring of the captain's skin and say, yeah, the EPS conduit exploding killed him. But you look a little bit deeper and you determine that the captain was actually beat to death before he was thrown unconscious or dead into the exploding conduit.
Is there any way for me to be able to tell maybe what was used? Like, was it a blunt weapon, or was it? I'm assuming it was a blunt weapon.
I will say, if you spend a momentum to ask that question, I may answer it.
I'm not going to waste it on that. All right, I'm going to tap my communicator.
Okay.
Brenda Crowley.
Crowley here.
We may have a problem. When looking after the injured here, it was brought to my attention that the captain had died.
1 moment. And Crowley's going to cut line, and he's going to reestablish connection with a secure line.
Oh, yeah. That was probably the good choice. Yeah. So the captain apparently is dead. And it looks, to the layman's eye, like it was an EPS conduit explosion. He's got several burns all over him. However, the cause of death seems to be some sort of blunt force trauma to his head. And it looks like he was then posthumously thrown onto an EPS conduit to make it look as if he died due to burns. So I believe that not everything here is as it appears.
Understood. Keep this to yourself for now. I will contact you in a moment.
Understood.
Crowley to Arcadia.
This is Arcadia.
Captain, remember a little while ago, I had a paranoid feeling that if we ever got a duplicate kicking around, that we might have to have a backup plan?
In game, yes. Out of game, no. Well, I don't remember exactly what the thought was in out of game.
I don't like for side stuff there. Crowley and Tahan can communicate messages telepathically. Basically, an image or so to identify themselves if suspicion arose. Same with Milan and Matic. Most of them are gone now.
Yeah,
So it's only Crowley.
But yeah, Tahan will think about the correct image, which I don't remember what it was. Was it something in a bar?
Can be whatever you want it to be.
No, we had a specific thing. Yeah, it was something in a bar back on Earth. And I'll think about that image.
Alright, and I'll respond back verbally. It was like, we might have a situation here on the Thunderchild.
What do you need? More security?
I don't want to arouse suspicion. Keep an eye on the area. We might have some sleeping chips. I don't
Understood.
necessarily like the fact that.
And Tahan will get up from his seat and move over to the tactical system.
Okay.
And then I'm going to probably to Tivna.
Tivna here.
Can you secure your tricorder with a connection with me, please? I'm going to send you a message.
One moment. And after a moment, there's sort of a beep in your suit to recognize the fact that she has done so.
I'm just going to simply say possible foothold scenario on Thunderchild.
And she sends a message back, and it reads, go check the main sensor array. Something is amiss.
I'll look to Lois and I was like, you good? You want to go back?
Let's finish.
I
I assume he has no idea what any of your conversations were.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing Lois would hear probably is like the first bit of him talking to Bryn, and then all of a sudden his comms went dead, but he could still see him talking. Bryn,
Bryn here.
how many of the Arcadia crew around you?
None.
Get back with them and start doing blood draws on everyone.
So are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yes.
Understood.
And I'm gonna head to the main deflector, or the main sensor array.
Okay. So, as that's all going on, let's cut back to Donick and see how he's doing on the warp core repair.
He's just poking one finger at a time.
So yeah, the good news is at this point it's a difficulty 0, so free momentum. But it is still a control in engineering or a daring in engineering.
I will do daring engineering. And focus is still applicable.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna be risky, and he's gonna use his both hands, typing fast. So I'm gonna use the momentum to make it to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that gives you 2 momentum. And all you need to do is roll me 5 work on your 6 die, and well,
6 die. 1 more die.
all right. So you either need to spend a momentum to reroll those 3 zeros, or you don't quite get what you need.
3.
All right, that's what you need. All right, so you are able to bring the warp core back online, and as you do so, the core begins humming in that sort of pulsating rhythm, and there's sort of a cheer in engineering as power begins to feed throughout the ship.
He's just slowly petting the console. He's like, that's a good girl.
Alrighty. And then we're going to go to Alon to see how well you're doing at this point.
The player lacks confidence.
We've got a lot of momentum. You can buy like 2 extra dice.
All right, let's do that. All right, you said it was.
Well, the question is, are you doing it yourself or are you still delegating?
I'm gonna do it myself. I mean, there's only one. It's a question of 8 versus 7, and yeah, the complications that arise from delegating are just worse. So I'm gonna just gamble, take that 1 digit.
Okay.
So it's daring in engineering, you said?
Mm-hmm. Or daring in security. Or daring
Yeah.
science. All of them would apply.
Jeez. Okay. All right. So I bought 2 extra dice, so that's 40-20. Focus. Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow.
Hey, it's Christmas.
Someone say Tom Brady?
My God. Okay.
Can you take our momentum to get rid? Oh, no, we can't even do that. That's like too complicated.
My gosh.
Yeah, that's the thing. All right, so here's what happens. You start to do the work yourself, and you start to think you're making progress, but then when you go to, say, start decrypting the computer, it locks down completely. Like, you're going to have to cold start this thing from scratch to get it working again. And that means not only is the complication range increased to 17 to 20, but it's now also a difficulty higher.
All right. Alon is going to message Tivna,
Okay.
because Tivna's pretty good with computers, if I remember right.
That is her specialty.
All right, and he's going to ask for assistance.
I'll be right there. All right, so Tivna's going to be up here with Alon. And then we'll go to Los and then Decline. So, Los, you're still working on the exterior hull plating. Good news is, difficulty's only a 2.
Crowley's left them.
Okay. Has Crowley actually told Tahan what happened?
I don't know.
Or just to look out for other ships?
He alluded to Lon that it might be a possible foothold scenario,
Okay.
which to the senior staff of the former bridge officers would know means changeling or shapeshifter or something of influencing nature.
Right. Okay. Let's take care of Los's roll then. I'd like to buy a 3rd die.
All right.
And
momentum.
is it control engineering?
Correct. I do see green. And hey, 2 successes is all you need.
Oh, complication though.
Yeah, you said it was 17 and up?
No, that's just for computer repairs.
Oh no, because of my stress.
Oh, right, because of your stress thing, yes, so that will be a complication.
Okay, but I do succeed.
I will say that due to your nerves and due to your shaky hands, that you are going to now have a resistance of 2 for this roll.
Okay. We're out of momentum now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're rolling 6 challenge die. And then we'll reduce it by 2 whatever you roll. Or no, sorry,
Only
5
5.
challenge die.
Yeah, okay. Can I give you threat to get through that resistance?
You could, yeah.
How much would that be?
I believe it's just the 1 for piercing 2.
What do you guys think? I think that's probably good.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Because that's the first threat we've given.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that and roll 5 dice.
Alrighty. Okay, so yeah, you achieve another breakthrough, bringing it down to difficulty 1. And actually, you complete the work track as well with that. So, despite Los's nerves and his hyperventilating, he is able to complete the major patching of the hull. Certainly wouldn't want to, say, throw things of a significant velocity or size or shoot, phasers at it, but it'll get to a starbase if need be.
Mm-hmm. Tahan to Crowley.
Crowley here.
This is on a secure line. You mentioned this might be a foothold situation?
Possibly. Bren got a hold of me and mentioned there was some irregularities with the death of the captain. He was dead before being reported dead. Possibly.
What steps have you taken so far?
I've called Bren to fall back to the Arcadia crew. He's going to start doing blood draws. I've already alerted Tivna to keep an eye out of a possible scenario. I'm heading towards the main sensor array per Tivna's request, but I believe we should get more security aboard the vessel right now and then start doing blood tests on everyone, including me.
I'm considering belaying that order to do blood tests. They don't know we're onto them. Instead, I'm going to send a more security team. No Thunderchild crewmen will be able to move about the ship without our what's the word?
Escort?
Yeah, chaperoning.
I'd also recommend the Arcadia has a full check on any transporters. We want to make sure nothing's stealthily getting aboard our vessel as well.
Acknowledged. But keep this quiet and let's hold off on blood tests for now.
Very well, I'll let Bren know.
All right. So, Crowley, by this point you do arrive at the main sensor array, and I would like you to roll me a insight and engineering at difficulty 1, please.
I'm going to give you a threat for an extra dice because that's my worst stats.
Right.
Could my focus number 5 apply? Espionage? If it's been
I'll let it
tampered
happen,
with?
but it's a stretch.
Okay.
Do you want to spend your determination here?
Yeah, I will.
Alrighty.
Let's see, no stranger to violence.
No, would not apply here.
Voice of the crew, first to take a hit, last to leave, and serving Starfleet is a family tradition.
It'll be a stretch, but I'll say the family tradition means you know what a sensor array should look like.
Alright. So I'm rolling all of those.
As many as you want.
Insight engineering. I'll do all 3 again. Up. Hey!
Hey, you get a momentum. And, yeah, it's a good thing you did, because it's painfully obvious looking at this. There are more than a few isolinear chips that are completely in the wrong slot. It is, without a doubt, a sabotaged sensor array. It's easy enough to fix, but had you not physically come out here, you wouldn't have noticed it.
Alright. I want to use this onboard suit computer to link up with the dish and see what it was seeing incorrectly. Like, what was the last scan information?
So what you're able to find is that the attack craft, they didn't exactly come out of nowhere, so it's not like they had some sort of cloak. They quite literally were on the sensors for about 15 minutes before they arrived on scene. But thanks to the sabotage, they were in sort of a blind spot. an artificially created blind spot, but a blind spot all the same.
Okay. I'm going to quickly send a text message to Tivna and same message to Tahan about the sensor array, and I'm going to put the isolar chips in the right spot.
Alrighty. Let's go to Bryn. So, Bryn, what are you doing at this point?
Well, I guess I've come into an area where there are other members of the Arcadia crew.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming maybe like engineering or something.
Yeah, I would
since
say
it looks
main
like
engineering is
Klein.
a good candidate.
Yeah, since it looks like Klein and Danak, or is that how you say his name? Donick. Okay, well, it seems like the two of them are there. So he's kind of unsure what to do right now because he was trying to come up with a plan as far as how to kind of covertly go about getting blood samples from people. But since he's no longer going to do that.
Yeah, Kyle just shot him a quick little blurb. As he's walking to the sensors, like, again, just hold off.
All right, so he'll just kind of go in there and just sort of keep an eye on Klein and Donick.
Donick will just look at like, you barely come up to my waist.
Well, it's okay. Your species tends to be boring and rather unimaginative, medically speaking, of course.
Oh. Well, at least I don't look like a raisin.
I have no idea what you mean.
Hey, I got some old Romulan ale. Bottle tonight?
That sounds good.
Cool. Look to Klein, like, you didn't hear that, sir. Yeah.
As chief of security, I think I should.
What do you want? Want a glass?
Ramen and ale is not really my thing.
I got other stuff.
Like?
An old Earth favorite, actually. Fire water is a good one. It's a bit of something they mixed in called gasoline.
Why don't you just give him Everclear? God.
I'm sure there's probably some Saurian brandy around somewhere if you're...
How about we wait until after we figure this situation out?
Quick side note, I don't drink alcohol at all, so I'm just trying to think of stuff.
Oh, Bryn drinks, but he's a Tellarite, so he doesn't get drunk. He just relaxes him.
All right. So
But while this conversation's going on, he's still kind of trying to like keep his own paranoia in check, but he's having the conversation with Donick and Klein, but he's also kind of looking around at anybody else that's in engineering.
Okay. So at this point, we're going to cut back to Alon and Tivna at this point. And I would say this is probably going to be their last check that they can make before something might happen. As it's been for them about 2.5 hours at this point.
So I think Alon should assist rather than lead.
Okay.
Based on his previous roles.
Okay. So if someone would pick up Tivna then, she's going to be rolling either a daring... Actually, yeah, her daring engineering should be perfect for this. And she does not have a focus.
Okay. Could I use one of her points of determination here?
You could, yeah.
Understands technology better than people.
Sure, yeah, that'll work.
Jeez.
And I'm just now noticing that she had the wrong roll. Anyway. All right, so that's 2 successes. We need to see... Okay, Alon
I used
Alon did not help.
Okay, oh, that's right, you used it for the automatic too, so that is the 4 you need. Okay. So at this point, you're now going to roll me 7 challenge die.
All right.
Okay, so good news, that is enough for a breakthrough. Bad news, that does not give you enough to complete the task, which is going to be important because it is at this point that back on the Arcadia, you are detecting, thanks to your early warning probes that you sent earlier, that there are 2 more attack craft on the way.
Paranoia is good.
Arcadia to away team.
Yes.
Over here.
There are 2 attack crafts incoming. If you can get the shields on the Thunderbot online, do so now. Otherwise, we need to begin removing crewmen to the Arcadia.
Aye, sir. And we'll quickly reply back with a text, sealed. What's the term now? Briggs.
With us getting...
Acknowledged.
Oh, sorry. With us getting general power systems back online, we'd be able to at least attempt to get shields back online.
Yeah, so what's going to happen, because the computers are not going to be fully operational, anything that involves the computers, meaning pretty much everything on the ship, is going to be at a complication range of 18 to 20. But basically what I'm going to have you guys do is each of you is going to get in action as if this was Starship Combat, which means you might have a chance to restore shields, restore power, etc., etc. And let me put you back on this page so that you can see where the Thunderchild is currently sitting. I think you all have access to the sheet, so... Oh, no, you do not. Let me fix that.
How far away were the attack vessels?
They are about 5 minutes out.
I'm going to send one more order.
Okay.
Find out who had access to the sensor array. And if that means working on the computer more, that's what you need to do.
Alrighty.
Would my suit link up have told me who accessed it last?
Unfortunately, no. There would be no available data.
Okay.
Let's see. Right. So we each have an action, is what you said?
Yes, each one of you has an action. And that could be something here on the Thunderchild. That could be you going back to the Arcadia. Really, just tell me what you want to do, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
I'll start here. I want to immediately try and get the shields back online.
Okay. So shields are going to be a control and engineering at a difficulty of 1. And this will also be assisted by structure engineering from the ship. And I will say at this point, you guys have gotten back 3 power. So it will bring you down to 2 power to regenerate shields. Okay. But you can also spend momentum to get 2 momentum, or 2 points of shields per momentum, in addition to the 2 if you're succeeding.
Okay. So 2d20.
And if someone wants to grab the Thunderchild structure and engineering for him.
Would computers apply as a focus here, yes or no?
I would say yes, because I figure the shields rely heavily on the computer in some way.
All right.
It was engineering what?
Structure engineering.
I got it. We got 1 success.
Okay, so that means you bank 2 momentum, and you go down to 2 power, but you also gain back 2 shields.
Yep.
And you can spend momentum as many times as you want to get more shields.
So how many shields are we back at right now? 2?
Just 2.
Let's spend 2 momentum to bring it back up to 6.
Okay. And then we'll still have 1 more momentum for an extra die somewhere.
Correct.
Alrighty.
Los had only done 2.5 increments because they had done their first one in half the time.
Right.
So I assume he'd be back on the ship by now, right?
Yeah, he would be.
I'm trying to think where the best place for him to be is. He could either go man security on the Thunderchild, or he could start manning the transporter systems back on Arcadia from the brig.
Right.
Crowley, where do you order him to go?
I don't want to take anyone off the Thunderchild right now. How is Los with? He's good with security, so I'll have him do the security on Thunderchild then.
Okay. Or if you want, we can decide where he goes last. Maybe he goes chase off whoever sabotaged the sensors. It's up to
We
you.
don't need to do that. We don't need to do that right now. So
Yet.
having him on security is good because then he's accessing. Whenever the computers come back, he has a terminal right there.
All right. He'll stay on the Thunderchild then.
Okay. So that's Los. What is Bryn doing?
When Bryn was doing, when he was working on the injured, did any of the injuries like not make sense or seem out of place, or not as severe as they would appear at first glance, or anything?
I would say not that's coming to mind. Though if you would care to roll an Insight Medicine at difficulty 1, you could be extra sure.
Checking focuses here. Probably not. Okay.
All right, so you get a momentum. Yeah, you're pretty confident that there was nothing really out of the ordinary aside from the captain's death.
Brenda Crowley.
Crowley.
Permission to beam the wounded from the Thunderchild onto the Arcadia, perhaps into a secure triage.
As Bryn's asking me that, I'm like typing out to the captain what Bryn's asking and sending to him. And just a way to text back.
And by secure triage, he means a brig.
Right. So yeah, Tahan, what's your call? Are they going to a brig or are they staying on the Thunderchild?
Who?
The wounded.
To the brig.
Alrighty.
Okay, I'll have that done, but Brenda's going to stay on the Thunderchild. Yeah, because he at least has his assistant on the Arcadia to deal with any injured over there. He's going to stay here.
Okay.
Side question for the GM.
I might have an answer.
They've already came up with the changeling method for searching for them on their ships, right? Like phaser sweeping everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that information didn't pass to all the ships. Or is that strictly DS9 knowledge?
I think that might just be DS9 knowledge.
Well, no, didn't they do some stuff at Starfleet Academy, or Starfleet headquarters?
Yeah,
Was
but
that-
we don't really see it after that episode. Of course, we also don't see a whole lot of changelings after that episode, but...
True. So would Crowley know those methods then?
I would say you would know the basics of them, yeah.
Alright,
Though if
he would-
you start phasering random objects, it might seem a bit odd to people.
He'll send the file names to the captain to look at. Possible methods we could use on the injured without... If the changelings as like if there is one, it's a solid object, we can just zap it to okay, it's real.
I'll give instructions to the whatever medical personnel is in the brig. If the wounded are healthy enough for this, that they may use any of the less invasive methods to try to determine that.
Okay. I believe that leaves Tivna and Alon are still going to be working on the computers. Who does that leave? That leaves Crowley. What are you going to be doing for your action?
Well, I guess it might actually just be getting back into the ship.
Okay. I would say that's just your minor action.
I'm going to the bridge, and I'm looking for the commanding officer.
All right. Commander Foster is indeed there, and as you step on the bridge, she says, good timing, Commander. It seems we've got incoming.
Yes, have you had extensive fights with the Dominion yet?
Well, I should think that obvious given the fact we took out 2 of them on our own.
Well, besides those ones there, do you know all the tactics yet? We've been doing training on them.
I am moderately familiar with them, yes.
Yeah. I'll be providing assistance on weapons then, or Khan, whoever is... stable
Well, you
enough.
do see that Los is already at security.
I'm going to take con.
Alrighty. So, let me just put
Is
these...
the Defiant a small vessel?
Oh yeah, they're little.
They're scale 3.
Smaller
asking
than the Nova class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking for because of a focus.
What does the focus say?
Small crafts and fighters.
No, does not apply.
Damn. Okay.
Alright, so right before we take our break, you all get situated, and sure enough, 2 attack crafts show up right on schedule. And this is where we're going to take our break. So if you guys could be back by the top of the hour.
Okay.
Alright, BRB.
I'm going to play Final Countdown for Alan and Tivna. Oh man, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Super paranoia. That's all of Crowley's contingencies are because of Sin, Reeve, and Terra.
Right.
And yeah, it's just the captain now that me and the captain can do the whole empathic talking to stuff. Because Matic and Nilana gone. I guess it would be Janus, but he's not here.
Yeah.
So it looks like I gotta do the whole setup with Bryn and Klein now. And probably Tivna.
Yeah.
Should be easier because I think she's Vulcan?
Yeah, she's part Vulcan.
Yeah, Vulcan Ryan. Also, I really appreciate you saying that Crowley has drilled you hard enough for both of them.
I saw you put phrasing, and I'm like, you son of a bitch.
I had to mute my mic because I was laughing way too much. I love it, thank you.
I didn't mean for it to come out that way, but sure. That's why phrasing is a thing.
It is. It's glorious.
Alright, I'm unmuted for those of you watching on the stream or the recording. Just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you're having a good time. Just as a reminder, as I do usually during these breaks, if you have Amazon Prime, you have a free Twitch Prime, which is a sub to any channel of your choice. You do have to manually resub using Twitch Prime every month. It's a little annoying, but it does let you put your subscription where you want it. Of course, you don't have to spend it here, but if you do, I'd love it if you did. Other than that, just a reminder that, I've got Adiona coming up this coming Tuesday, and on Wednesday we have the Fire Emblem thing. So if you're interested in either, love it if you could turn out. But otherwise, I'm going to mute myself for the rest of the guys.
No, I don't think it is, because we all have our little dots.
Yeah.
I think it's standard. I'm happy. The Thunderchild seems familiar, though.
There's another Thunderchild from the battle on Narinja Station, but this is a different Thunderchild. Name overlaps.
Yeah, that was, wasn't that an Akira?
Yeah, it was an Akira.
So while
folks.
we have you, GM,
Yeah, what's up?
this possible fight, is this going to be fleet combat or just like ship combat, if that makes if I can ask?
This is going to be full-on starship combat unless we start to run a little bit late.
Okay,
So I actually should probably get the turn orders going here.
gotcha.
I'm back, if it matters.
Alright. Is Bryn
Welcome
back?
back.
Alright, we'll give Bryn a little bit longer.
He's got like 6 minutes anyway.
Yeah, he's got time.
So So I'm trying my best to hold back because I think I know which adventure you adapted this from.
Oh, no, I have unashamedly used adventures from These Are the Voyages for the past couple sessions, but I've specifically tried to adapt them for this group. I will say, though, that the twist, definitely not how it plays out in that write-up.
Okay, that's good.
I might have to pick up that book eventually because I'm wanting to possibly run a Star Trek Adventures one-shot for some friends of mine. I'm trying to figure out if I want to use one of yours or one of the...
I mean, I think you should run Sci-Shift. I think they'd have fun with it.
Oh yeah, Sci-Shift is probably one I'm going to end up running.
Which one is that?
That was the station one.
Oh.
Corner one. Yeah.
I don't think I read that one. There's also the starter set is a thing you can get.
Mm-hmm.
That's also true. I get about people characters and right now.
Uh-oh, people are roboting. I think it's me that's disconnecting. Let me reconnect. Okay, have we stopped
Hello?
roboting?
I think so.
There we go.
I think so, yeah.
Alright, cool.
I was really confused when I kept hearing the music until I realized that was coming through Roll20.
Right. I mean, that's why I do it, though. Like, so that, A, there's no silence, and B, if something goes wrong with Discord while I'm gone, you guys can know that it's Discord and not Roll20. Mirthrill. So the Wednesday game of Fire Emblem is basically just going to be a quick play test. We're going to run through the adventure that I wrote in the back of the book, and I'll be adding and changing rules as needed. But I think the framework is solid. I'm just curious to see how it'll play out in general.
There's one talent that I think is in the operations division that would have worked perfectly at this point, since we are on a bit of a murder mystery at this point as well. There's
Yeah, I looked at that. I was looking at that one just now.
I think it was Criminal Minds, I think was the name of it. From the operations book, I think.
That sounds right.
Let's see if I can. No, I don't want to look at section 31.
Mhm.
No one ever does.
Let's see if I can find Criminal Minds.
It'd be the
really quick.
greatest operatives if they employed John Cena.
Oh god, please no.
Those new vodka commercials he's in are so weird.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did those.
I
I
haven't
have
seen those.
TV.
So
hey,
let's see.
Bryn's back. Alright, so let's kill the music and switch us back to the Arcadia.
Oh, I didn't know you guys were waiting on me. I'm sorry.
No,
No,
you're
you're good.
fine.
You still had time.
Yeah, you still got 2 minutes, so you're just back early. That's all
Okay.
it means. Alright, so the way this is going to work is the Thunderchild or the Arcadia can go first, but it's going to go you guys, the attack ship, you guys, the attack ship, etc., etc.
I'd like to move the Thunderchild behind the Arcadia.
Okay, that would be your helm action. And I believe that if you want to move within medium range, it does not have a power requirement. So you can move anywhere within 6 units.
Alright. We'll go there. 6 squares? Yeah.
Okay. So there is a task associated with this. It is a difficulty 0, though.
Okay.
So this is going to be a control and con for you, Crowley. And the Thunderchild is rolling an engines plus con.
All right. I'll take the Thunderchild. Engines con. Always has a
No
focus.
focus. Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Interesting.
So we still succeed. But
19, 19, and 18. Jeez.
So you don't get any momentum, but good news is because the computers doesn't really apply here, thankfully, you are able to get it over there no problem. But it is now going to be the attack ship's turn, and the attack ship is going to move right up here, and it's going to spend some threat to make a second action.
oh boy.
And it might help if I put that on my bar. Let's see how well it hits the Arcadia. Well, it gets the 2 successes it needs. So it does quite a bit, actually. So that is 9 vicious 1.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so your resistance
no.
is... Wow. All right, let's break this down.
So that's 14, I think?
13, 14. I count 15.
Okay. So, oh yeah, because the 1.
Uh-huh. So that's 15 damage. The Arcadia is a scale 6. So...
And we have
Yeah.
a blade of armor, so we have resistance 8.
Okay, so you're still going to be taking 7 damage, because I can math.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's 7 to your shields, which brings you down to 3, I believe. And this will be a breach. So, I'm going to randomly roll what got hit here. A 12. 12. What is a 12? 12 would be your structure. Oh boy. Which means, yeah, I get to roll a challenge dice here to see if anyone is injured. Someone is injured. And that someone is actually going to be you, Captain. And Captain,
Hi.
yeah. Captain, you're above you. The ceiling buckles from the force of the attack, and a portion of the ceiling falls on you. You can avoid the injury by spending your determination or by spending 2 momentum. But if you don't, this is going to be considered a lethal injury.
Right. I'm going to have it. Let's spin the momentum.
Okay. All right. So you are. The good news is you don't really take stress damage, but we'll say you are just able to get out of the way so it doesn't pin you to your chair, but you still take a nasty gash along your arm. And someone's going to have to fix both the ceiling and your chair now.
It's repaired with a cup holder.
All right, so which one of you would like to go next?
I think the Arcadia needs to go next.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to
who-
give it. So I'm going to give an order to modulate the shields,
Okay.
and I'm going to use. I'm going to use my action as to assist. So I'm actually going to be assisting whoever's doing the task when it's their turn. And I also have the decisive leadership talent, which lets me use 0 momentum to retain the initiative after assisting or directing.
Okay, so in that case, let's have Sin do that roll. So if someone wants to handle
Yep.
Sin,
I'll
why don't
take
we
care
have
of that.
Bryn do it? That way Bryn's rolling something
Okay,
here.
sure.
You said for Sin?
Yep.
And what am I rolling?
Sin is going to roll me a control security, and someone needs to roll the Arcadia's structure engineering, and this overall difficulty is a 2.
And then I have the advisor talent, so you get to re-roll one of your d20s.
Okay.
And you said structure engineering for the Arcadia?
Correct?
And
Alright.
does she have a focus?
She does.
Okay.
So that's an assist from the ship. Oh boy.
Ooh,
I'm gonna re-roll. I'll re-roll that complication.
All right.
And I assist presence command.
Yep. All right, so I believe that is 4 successes, and let's see if the assist comes in.
I don't think I have a focus unless team dynamics comes into play.
I'd say team dynamics comes into play. So that's 5 successes, so you get 3 momentum, meaning that your resistance is increased by +1, and if you want to spend more momentum, it's 1 resistance per momentum spent, and this resistance lasts until you suffer 1 or more damage after resistance.
Let's spend 2 more. So we get an additional 3 momentum. So we're going to go up to resistance 11.
Okay, noted. All right, so that is your tactical action, and that means it is now the second Jem'Hadar vessel's turn, and it's going to do exactly what its fellow did, and it's going to zoom up, spend some threat to attack twice. Well, you know what I mean. It's going to zoom up, then attack. And it does with 2, so I get to roll another 9. Before I roll, since you have to declare it before the roll, I'm going to spend 3 threat on 6 resistance removed.
Jeez.
Alright, so that is 9 overall. So you guys still reduce by 5, so you take 4 to your shields, but I believe that does knock your shields down. Yeah, your shields are gonzo. So let's see where that breach is. A 2. I believe that is sensors. No, it's computers. Let's see what happens when you hit computers. Weapon. No, not what I want. Not what I want. Computers.
They uploaded a virus.
Okay, the computer system cannot be used to perform or assist any tasks, and any that use the computers increase in complication range by 2. Okay, until the restore minor action has been performed. Alrighty. So, in a startling display of firepower, the attack ships zoom up and just unleash hell on the Arcadia. And the Arcadia is taking a beating. But it is now the Thunderchild's turn.
Looking at the Thunderchild sheet, we have quantum torpedoes.
You
Unload.
do indeed.
Do it.
But I will say that quantum torpedoes are long range, and right now you're at medium. So that will be an increased difficulty, which means a total of 4.
Right.
Base cannons have to be close. Movement and action.
You do also have normal. You should have phaser arrays as well.
We do have
Yeah.
phaser arrays, yeah. You might want to try and take a shot with her phaser arrays, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, let me know.
We gotta do something.
Yeah. Trying to think here. So, let me look at
Phasers generate momentum.
They do.
They
Well,
do.
they give you 2 bonus momentum, which have to be spent in the moment,
They do?
as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what versatile. I mean, you're right in that versatile does give you 2 bonus momentum if you hit, but I'm pretty sure it's bonus momentum, meaning it doesn't get saved.
Okay. Maybe. And so if we do a shot with that, we can spend that momentum for penetration.
You could, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Los, you're at tactical, so you'd be at the one taking the shot there.
Okay.
So control security for you, and the ship is rolling weapons and security. Yeah, weapons and security for the ship.
All right. Boop.
All right.
I'm gonna roll. Do I still have that increased complication range?
You do because of the computers, yes.
No, from the stress.
Oh, no, that's gone. You're no longer outside in an EV suit.
All right, I think I'm gonna roll a third die, suspending our last momentum.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that is enough to hit. Which one did you want to hit, A or B?
There's a more clear shot on B.
Okay. And are you using your 2 bonus momentum? Actually, I am forgetting that you can do area or spread.
Oh right. Area. Let's hit them both.
Okay. So, at this point, you need to roll some effects so that it'll bounce to them, quote unquote. But you also need to tell me if you're spending your 2 versatile momentum on piercing or something else.
Let's spend both of those on piercing, and then we do bank 1 momentum, right? Because of difficulty 2,
Yes, you do
and we
get
got
1
3.
momentum. Yes.
Okay.
We can just reroll damage if we need to.
Yeah, that's probably good to keep it for that. Okay. So how many dice?
Should be on the Thunderchild sheet.
I think it was 7 for the phaser arrays.
Yeah, 7.
Oh, it has phase cannons.
Yeah, but you have to be at close range to do that.
Oh, it has both, I see.
Well, let me
Okay.
offer you this, because you are in a kind of a tight spot. If you want to retcon and say that you used your phased cannons instead, you'll hit, but you won't have that momentum.
No, I like
difficulty 3.
I like the phaser arrays and then hitting both of them. That sounds good.
Okay.
So we'll keep that extra momentum for dice re-rolling, and I'll roll 7 challenge.
Alrighty. That is a very, very good hit.
Okay. How does spread area
Yeah, I
work
was
again?
gonna say I myself have to look up how area works here. Let's see, because it's been a while since we've done full combat. Let's see. Area. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, of course it's not in this section. All right, hold on. That would just be convenient.
Oh, here it is on 178. Automatically hits 1 within, and then 1 within close range for each effect rolled.
Which one did, yeah. The key thing is it doesn't do the same damage. Yes, it does. Okay. All right, yeah, so you'll hit both for a grand total of 6 damage, which
And piercing 4.
Yep. So, I mean, they're small craft, so they are going to take a momentous hit here, and they're both going to suffer a breach, which gets rid of their turn, their remaining turn anyway. That is your tactical action. And we return to the Arcadia. So what would the Arcadia like to do at this point?
Sidebar, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Sin has quick action.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say that. 'Cause I think
We took 2 turns in a row last time. It was me and then Hylong. Or who's it? Who's a tactical?
Sin.
Okay, so yeah, we already did that.
Okay.
But we can still do that, I guess. We still have helm, sensor operation, internal systems. I guess command has already been done too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I need to get rid of that.
okay, I think getting shields back online is really important.
Okay.
So let's do that.
Alrighty.
Who'd that be? Hylong?
Yeah, since Tivna is not here and unfortunately our lovely Cation engineer is not here either, it's probably just going to be Hylong. So let's see what she's rolling. She is rolling a control and engineering.
Oof.
And that's going to be at a difficulty of 1. And the ship is rolling structure and engineering. And actually, this increases to difficulty 2 because the ship shields are at 0.
Okay. And she'll obviously... Oh, there's no prepare minor action to repair the structure, right?
You could spend it to fix the computers.
Yeah, because she's not using that minor action for anything else anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Who would like to roll for Hylong?
I will. Sure, why not?
All right, I can roll for the Arcadia.
All right.
It's what was the structure engineering?
Let's see. I don't think she has a focus here. No.
Nah.
Her control engineering is not
No,
good.
the ship doesn't assist. Yeah, it's not enough, unfortunately. So Hylong does her best to get the shields back in line, and she just reports that, sir, it's not happening. They fried our arrays.
Does she have any values?
None that I think would
should.
really apply here, though.
Oh, well, she's only got a 50% chance to do it.
Yeah. Because 2 of them are science related, and then the other one's probably one that wouldn't apply, which is I'm honor bound to dutifully serve those above me in command, which I don't think would apply here.
Wait, she has 3 values?
Yeah, she has 3.
Would this count as another introduction for Hylong?
I would say it would, yeah.
How about Grace Under Pressure?
Sure.
Okay. I'll go ahead and add that in here.
And then, yeah, go ahead and re-roll that D20.
All right,
Hopefully it comes up
50-50.
below a 10.
All right, so it's D20. Hey!
Look at that.
That's
So
great.
you actually get a momentum back. And yeah, sure enough, you spend the point of power to get your shields up. So you have 2 shields at the moment. Are you spending any momentum for additional shielding?
I feel like we should. I'm not sure.
It's our
if
mothership.
I think-
all of it, or
I think just one. It's always good to have that one momentum for die rolls.
yeah.
Okay, so you're now up to 4 shields.
And with quick to action, let's have Janice do evasive maneuvers.
Okay. So evasive maneuvers is going to be a daring and con on Janice's part. I guess I'll roll for him. And the ship is rolling a structure con. And this is going to be at a difficulty of 1.
Okay, structures, con.
2d20. He has a focus. Yes.
The ship didn't help.
Well, Janice got you a momentum. And yeah, so it is 1 difficulty higher to hit the Arcadia, but it is also 1 difficulty higher to hit something from the Arcadia.
Does he have any talents that mitigate that?
I do not believe he does. No, he does. Well, he might. Starship Expert. What does that do?
It allows
I think
them to
that's like-
identify ships.
Yeah, let's see.
Probably had it for a while.
Yeah, Starship Expert doesn't help you. Push the Limits doesn't help you. Yeah, he doesn't have anything that'll help you. Alrighty. Well, that I believe that is everyone except for 1 person on the Thunderchild.
Which is Klein, if memory
Oh,
serves,
wait.
right? Oh,
Yeah,
I think
it should be.
I think evasive action had a power requirement.
Yeah, it should be a power requirement of 1. So yeah, you would be down to 8 power overall on the Arcadia. But yeah, Klein, it would be you on the Thunderchild at this point.
Let's try and get a little more power back onto the Thunderchild here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
for
then what
you, that's
task is
going to
that?
be either a daring or a control engineering at difficulty 2.
All right.
And it
The ship
can
roll?
succeed at cost.
Does the ship roll?
The ship does not roll.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mind if I spend momentum to get a 3rd die here?
Sure.
All right. Oops. Computers apply here?
No, I would say it would not.
Okay.
All right. Well, you get that momentum back with some extra change, so you're up to 2 momentum. And yeah, you get 1 point of power right off the bat, and if you want more, it's 1 momentum for 1 power.
Okay. Oh, let's spend 1 to get 1 more power back, and then leave that 1 there, so we can get extra die.
Okay.
Done.
So you were at 6 shields, 4 power on the Thunderchild. And yeah, we reset the round at this point. So 3, 3, 3, 3. Descending. All right, so attack ship A is actually going to fire its Polaron beam bank at the Thunderchild.
Oh boy.
And will hit. It'll suffer a complication, but it will hit. All right, so let's see. So that is a grand total of that. Piercing 2. Alrighty, this could be bad.
Could be.
Well, I think that's still enough to cause a breach. Let's see. Did I give the Thunderchild a blade of armor?
I think you did. Let me double check the sheet real quick.
Yep.
It does.
Yep.
Okay, so then you still have 1 resistance after the fact, and that means you take 5 damage, which isn't enough to break your shields, but is enough for a breach. So let's go ahead and roll that. Okay, that is going to be your con, or communications, which, who really cares about communications?
Be con. Okay with con.
Nah, it's communications. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Basically, if you were trying to E-War, it might care, but it doesn't do anything. But it is now the Thunderchild's turn, and let me refresh all your dots so you know what's going on.
Firing seemed to do pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we could do is I can go long range. We do another helm, and then quantum torpedo the hell of them.
Right.
So I'll have to move back 1 more, I think.
In Starship Combat, to retain the initiative, is it still like a 2 momentum spend?
It is, yes.
Okay.
But something that Commander Foster would advise is, sir, we won the fight by being up close and personal. We have phaser cannons. Let's use them.
She's human. What do I read from her?
She is wary. She is a bit nervous, but you can tell that she still has professional decorum.
Alright. Well, let's get up in their faces, I guess. Blaze of glory and all that, right?
Sure.
Hello, boys.
All right, so let's get you rolling that task first, because it could get you the momentum you need to retain the initiative.
And it was control con.
Control con for you, and the Thunderchild is rolling engines and con.
All right. Engines and con.
All right, that's already 2 momentum. All right, so yeah, do you want to spend the 2 momentum you just got to retain the initiative?
Yes.
Alrighty, so you are up close and personal. Would you care to use your phaser cannons?
I believe that would be the hell to the yes.
All right, so Los, if you could then roll me your control security, and the Thunderchild's doing weapons and security. And
I would like Los for Los to use his No Stranger to Violence talent or value. So that's 2 successes, and then control security.
Yep.
Oh, that's a crit on the ship.
That is a very nice crit on the ship. I see green as well. That's very nice. So let's see. That is a grand total of 6 successes, which means you get 4 momentum.
Oh, did we say which one we were attacking?
You can pick.
Let's say attack ship A.
Okay.
And we don't get any. No, we still get versatility. So let's do that all in piercing.
Okay. So.
And then.
Go ahead.
Do I know what scale they are?
You know that they're scale 3.
Oh, so we're already getting through all there, unless they have some ablative. That's okay. I'll keep the rest of the banked momentum
Okay.
And roll
So we're standing
challenge
momentum.
dice. I think we should have 5, yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. So, as it so happens, that salvo is enough to completely destroy attack ship A. So yeah, the Thunderchild swoops in and unleashes a barrage from her trademark phaser cannons and bifurcates the attack ship. Its two parts splinter and explode into debris. And it is no longer. That just brings us to attack ship B. And attack ship B is going to do something that I've wanted to do with a Jem'Hadar ship for a long time.
No.
Oh no.
So,
Ramming speed?
ramming speed.
Oh no.
So I am going to spend some threat here so that they can roll some additional dice. And so you don't see what their score is. I am just going to roll it manually. Alright. Do. Boop. Yeah, they hit you.
Boy.
They hit you.
I
Alright.
didn't think you had that much threat left.
Well, one of those rolls is the ship.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was the last of my threat. So let's see. It does a number of challenge die equal to 2, plus the ship's scale. All right, so this is going to be 5 challenge die.
It's ramming us, the Thunderchild.
Oh, it's ramming the Arcadia.
Oh.
Which means the Arcadia is going to take 10 damage straight up with spread.
Nothing we can do.
Or resistance applies.
It does, but I still think that's a breach. Yeah, because your shields are gonzo. So that's actually 2 breaches, I believe.
Wait,
You said it was 10 damage reduced by 8. So down to 2.
Oh, well, in that case, I think you're fine because you had 4 shields.
Aha!
So yeah, Jem'Hadar don't know any better. They're gonna just slam into you and just explode in a fireball onto your shields. But thankfully, it's dead and you're out of combat.
Status report.
Crowley here. Everyone's mostly alive. We lost the communication panel. No real loss there. How's you doing?
We need to do some patching up. I might need a new chair.
Sir?
Oh, there was a breach in the bridge. Oh, not a breach. You'll see.
Alright. When did the computer come online for the Thunderchild?
Oh, right about now, when, you know, it's thematically appropriate.
Alright. How do these starships computers work? If they recognize an officer command lockout, even if it's from another ship, would it still react?
If the one doing the lockout has a sufficient clearance, for example, a captain, under certain conditions, can lock out the command systems of a different ship.
Captain, we're ready to move ourselves out of the Cardassian border.
Let's move ourselves to the border and no further.
Very well.
Alrighty.
And then you'll receive a text response encrypted that says foothold.
Okay. And I'm just sending little messages to Tiv now. You know, check these files, check the system, check life support.
Okay. Alright. I'm trying to find the map I gave you guys that shows where you are in the quadrant. Because I know I gave you guys one. Because it's not in Roll20. I thought it was, but it's not.
Might be in Discord.
If any of you
Resources?
can find that real fast, that would help tremendously.
see, resources.
No, not finding anything. I just searched the thing for map.
I think I found it. So the nearest starbase is going to be Starbase 211. And at best possible speed for the Thunderchild, that's going to be about a 5-day journey.
All right. I'm going to.
I think that's enough time to figure out who our culprit is.
Yeah. So Tivna is actually going to deliver you a report in your ready room, Captain. So let me find Tivna.
Was she thoroughly investigated before she was back aboard the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll come into the room and see me, like my sleeve's been ripped off and I've tourniqueted myself, like to heal to stop my own bleeding.
Mm-hmm. And she kind of smiles at that and says, "You probably should see someone about that, Captain, but I have good news and I have bad news. Which would you like first?"
Start with the bad.
Bad news, that supposed shapeshifter, that whole second attack was a cover for them to get off the Thunderchild. I don't think they are anywhere on either ship at this point. I think they managed to escape.
We didn't detect any energy signatures.
You forget that the Dominion have advanced transporters. All it took was the shields going down for just a moment or buckling, and they beamed out. I have the logs here if you'd care to review them. And she holds over a pad, and sure enough, it shows a transporter signature that would have gone off, and due to the Thunderchild's weakened state, it was easily missed in the heat of the battle.
What's the good news? But before that, what did they take?
Well, I'm assuming they took their founder back, which I guess is kind of the good news. We don't have to blood screen the entire cruise now.
We still will.
Well, that's all I had to report, Captain. Should I send word ahead to Starbase 211?
I'll do that.
Very well. And she kind of waits just for a moment to see if you dismiss her, but otherwise she makes for the door. And yeah, what would you guys like to do in the last 10 minutes before we have to wrap up?
Should I do the blood scans,
Yeah, we can say.
or do you want to wait for our next session for that?
Nah, I mean, I wanted to keep this self-contained, so let's just say, for sake of argument, you definitely screen everyone on the Thunderchild, and they all pass.
All right, and then other than that, I'll when I be back to the Arcadia, I'll take care of El Capitan.
I'm going to review. Is there anyone missing, or who all is missing on the Thunderchild?
There is about a list of 30 either killed or injured, but there are no missing.
So whoever escaped the Thunderchild was not posing as someone else.
I mean, they could very well have, but they were not one.
They didn't replace someone.
Yeah, they didn't replace someone.
Okay. Yeah, I'll eventually get myself patched up.
Probably would just be overseeing some crew transfers, just temporary relief. Let some of the Thunderchild crew relax and rest aboard the Arcadia. Once everything's been cleared, the blood screening. Even taking over a couple of shifts on the Thunderchild while the commander rests herself.
Okay. So, this is where we're going to end the session, but we have a few out-of-session questions I want to ask first before I end the stream. So, it's at this point that I wanted to float the idea that if you guys wanted to keep the Thunderchild with you, we could basically be running two ships, where the Arcadia and the Thunderchild are doing a joint patrol of the border. That said, if you do decide to go for that, someone is going to be needing to command the Thunderchild.
Crowley.
Let's just shove you at the airlock into command right now. Let's just do it. I do want to say.
Oh, you say what you want.
I do want to say I want to keep playing Crowley.
Oh, I mean,
I like
you'll still
him.
play him. You'll just be on the Thunderchild.
Would it be like how Worf was with Cisco, like when on DS9, like he is in command of the ship, but he can also be on the Arcadia when he's not needed there.
Yeah, I would say so.
All right.
Starfleet will receive a recommendation that they promote Commander Foster in command of the Thunderchild.
Okay. Right.
It is now to Han's opinion that Commander Crowley is unwilling and not ready for command.
Okay.
Given the events of last session, that's what Tahan would recommend.
Okay. All right, and then the final thing we have to take care of is reputation rolls. So, due to events since it's been quite a while, everybody is going to be rolling 3 positive die, but Klein, you are going to have 1 negative, which means you have to get at least 1 success here, or you're going to be losing a point of reputation.
Sure.
That's just 3d20s I'm rolling then?
Yep, 3d20s.
That's under my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Is an 18?
Yeah, if you're that high already.
Okay,
right, so Klein,
that's all
you
below.
actually get 3 reputation. No, you get 4 reputation because of that 1. Captain, you get 3. Crowley, I believe you get 3. And then Bryn, you get this roll too. Bryn, I think you only go up by 1. Yeah.
I'm actually capped out.
Where is that on the character sheet?
You have to go to the little gear, and it will be on that page.
I see it. Wow, I only have 10 reputation? Okay.
Oh, well, if you have 10, then you don't go anywhere. You just sort of sit there.
Oh.
Crowley.
That is the default, right? 10?
Yeah, it is the default.
Okay.
Crowley, if you're capped out, I recommend some awards.
Yeah, that was about what I was about to say. So,
Right.
Klein, as odd as it might be, you could qualify for an award here if you so wished.
Right. And the awards are in the Command Division book, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And you could the trade-off is you have to spend the reputation you just got on it.
Right.
Yeah, you can't spend any existing on it.
Right.
Right.
Okay. What page do the awards start on?
I'm pulling it up myself. They are on page 100 of the command book.
Okay. Give me just a second.
Actually, I take that back. They're even further along. They are actually on page 97 is where they start.
Gotcha. While we're here, we also haven't done Spotlight in a while. Or should we do one here
Yeah,
while we're here?
that was what I was going to go to next, but I wanted to handle reputation stuff first.
Sure. Okay.
And I was going to say, Crowley, you would qualify for a 3 cost award if you so wished.
Yeah, I'm just looking at them. Ooh, Surgeon's Decoration, no.
Yeah, I don't think you qualify for that one.
They didn't release any new awards in the operations book, did they?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I already have a Star Cross, so I can't get another one of those.
Could get the Decoration of Gallantry. It's always a good one.
Sure, I'll do that one.
Alrighty. So note the benefit somewhere, or at least the page number.
I think I'd like to. I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna go up to Reputation 19.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm popular.
think I'm going to take. What about the? I think I'll take the Starcross.
Sure.
So that means
Brit-
I only go up 1, correct? Since I gained 4.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
That is correct.
So I'd be at reputation 11.
And again, just note that benefit somewhere where you remember it.
Yep.
And so next up is going to be Spotlight Milestone. So which one of you... Well, let's just go down the line. You can nominate anyone who is here. So, Captain, who would you vote for?
Klein.
Okay. Crowley, who would you vote for?
Fine.
Klein, who do you vote for?
I would vote for the captain.
All right. And Bryn.
Klein.
Congrats, Klein. You get a spotlight.
Hey.
All right. So now that I know the captain's reputation is 19, let me float another possibility towards you guys. What happened in one of my other games when my captain character got up to that high of reputation, Starfleet basically offered them admiralty. If you took it, you would become a rear admiral. You would still be in control of the Arcadia, but you would have admiralty talents, which is really good if you haven't looked at them yet.
What book are those in?
Oh, it's in Command. Let me see if I can find the page number real fast. But from what I remember, basically you get 3 talents, or not 3 talents, 3 focuses extra, and you can delegate those focuses out to your those under you. So let me see if I can find the page it's on real fast.
Admiral Tahan, huh?
I'm already a Commodore.
All right, yeah.
Sorry, y'all didn't hear me laugh at how stupid I am after that.
No, you're fine. All right, so here it is. In an Admiralty game, it's on page 38 of Command. Select 3 additional focuses reflecting areas of expertise or subjects that pertain to the Admiral's assignment. At the start of each mission, the Admiral chooses one of their 3 focuses, and every main character receives that as an additional focus for the mission.
Oh, did he cut out?
I think he did.
Yeah, you cut out for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did I cut out?
Mission.
Yeah. All main
First
characters for the mission. or
So you
something.
pick 3 focuses, and at the start of each mission, you pick one of those focuses, and every main character receives that as an additional focus for the mission.
Ooh.
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Been a while. I would say it's been a long while. Do we get arc milestones?
Yeah, I would say everyone also gets an arc milestone.
Oh boy. Klein is getting a bump here.
All right.
I mean, mechanically, that sounds really sweet, but I think I want to role play that discussion.
Oh no,
With-
we will, but I just want to know if I
Yeah.
should prep for that discussion or not.
If you think whoever, I think it's a fun discussion to have in a game. No matter what I decide.
Okay, I'll just say the Admiralty conversation.
Laugh if he turns it down.
Yeah, I do have one recommendation though, and that is I think Ensign Los might be due for a promotion.
Sure, I would say it's been enough time that if you as the captain want to make that decision, it can happen.
All right, I'm promoting myself.
Nice.
To Lieutenant Junior grade at last.
Yeah.
All right. So that's where we're gonna end the stream. So anyone watching on Twitch or YouTube, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.